Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Rex. This is the Macallan Highland Single Malt Scotch, 18 years old.
From
Gaudet?
Yeah.
Jerry Gaudet, you magnificent bastard.
So we're just gonna stick with this one today,
Oh, lovely.
because it turns out we've not ever done the Macallan 18 specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you confirmed, because we've done a lot of...
I went and searched back and forth. I could find the 12, the rare, all kinds of things, but not the 18.
We've done a lot of Macallans. You know what?
There's a lot of Macallans.
I don't think
We've done the numbered edition versions.
I don't think we've done Jameson Black Barrel.
No, we did the reserve Black Barrel, but not the budget Black Barrel.
Okay.
So this is... Macallan has sort of become, in a lot of people's minds, the standard for sherry cask, Speyside Scottish whiskey.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. Well, it's you know, it does that by being one of the most accessible brands.
That's what I was gonna say. The reason I think is not that it's not worse than other ones. I mean, I prefer Glendronach and Aberlour, I think, if I'm going for sherried whiskeys.
Yeah.
But these guys are so good at marketing, and they're so good at brand placement,
Sure.
and so good at education, and their customer experience at the distillery in Scotland is astounding.
Right. Now,
They do marketing well.
the Glendronach and the Aberlour. Right. So we're in sherry territory. With
Oh,
those
yeah.
dark, plummy, pruny, kind of almost figgy, but it seems like it's a little bit lighter and sweeter than what I remember from the Glendronach or
dense.
Aberlour. Yeah, not as
Yeah.
dense, not as heavy.
I think
on
if I
those
had to
notes.
pick a sherry cask finished Scotch that I could get at just about any bar, the 18 would be my preferable to the 12.
Yeah.
To the more expensive rare casks, the 18 I think is just this perfect, balanced sherry cask Speyside. It still has some vanillas in there,
Yeah.
but this is their sherry cask special release. Like they're focused on. This is a 2017 annual release one.
I want to have different kinds of woods, because there's this note that I keep finding, and it's mostly in scotches, but occasionally in an American whiskey, and it pops in my head as sandalwood.
Yeah.
But
We've been landing on that recently.
How often do you get to put your nose up on some sandalwood?
So I want to need a wood display.
I do. I want to confirm. I want to have my wood displayed right on these windows, pressed right up against it,
And just for all the world to see.
so people from the outside can see.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Right there.
Just right there. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the Whiskey Vault and the world's largest collection of Rex's wood.
Huge collection. Oh, okay.
But there's also a peppery spiciness to this a little bit. It's not just dense dessert sherry.
Right. Well,
I'm trying to let it open up.
it's
a
not
little bit.
only that, but primarily it
Yes.
is that really desserty.
And I'm getting a hint of struck match.
I hear like the burnt, not sulfur.
It's not pure sulfur, but it's burning wood with the.
It's lovely. It's just hard not to like Macallan.
Yeah. It doesn't go wrong in any direction.
And it doesn't go
Right down the middle.
And it doesn't go challenging in any direction.
No, it's not challenging.
Right, because
it's not overly complex.
And it's not a high proof. I'm going to tell you right now.
43.
43. Yeah.
It's just a very brilliantly balanced, almondy, all the typical sherry cask notes that
Right.
fig and fruit, but a little bit more dry
On the finish.
on the finish
Yeah.
than the other sherry cask whiskeys that we have in here.
Mm-hmm. It almost leaves you with like a bitter barrel note there.
Yeah, and it's not that oily comparatively.
Right.
It mouth feels a little bit thinner.
Well, I think it's probably down to it being relatively low proof. It's hard to have a really oily whiskey whenever you're in the low 40s there. But it's a lovely whiskey. I wish there was more.
On second sip, it gets a little more tannic.
Well, yeah, you get acclimated to the sweetness.
Yeah.
And that finish, that little bit of the tannic barrel bitter finish, starts to show up earlier. Starts to show up about halfway through. But
so Macallan has these tiny, for being such a famous, widespread brand,
Yeah.
they have these tiny stills, 1,000 gallons each.
really,
Yeah. And instead of making bigger stills,
Right.
they just have 26 of them.
so
26.
that's funny. It's not automated.
Or 24, not 26.
Is it an automated?
24.
Are they still
24.
doing it by hand?
No, I mean, still
automated? With
Yeah, it's still going through pipes, and they
Sure.
run the charge and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of big brands, when we were in Ireland, went to the Middleton Jameson distillery, and we found out the amount of angel share that Jameson experiences in one day.
One day.
One day. Angel share is like basically the amount of whiskey that evaporates, and it's
Through the barrel.
imperceptibly small in a single barrel. It takes years for it to start to show up. The amount of angel share that they have in one day is more whiskey than our own distillery venture has ever made, sourced,
Currently
stored,
aging
ever touched.
by a significant
Total.
Like
by multiple.
Yeah, I was gonna say by multiples, not by a fraction.
Right.
By multiples.
Right. That'd be something. To have a distillery so big. It's like, yeah, your operation isn't even one day of our angel share.
Yeah, we lose as much whiskey as you make in your year.
Just disappears,
one day.
disappears into the
You
air.
little pissant.
Okay, we got the Shadi Musa. Is there such a thing as a peated bourbon or American whiskey? Can anyone point me in the right direction?
We've asked this a couple of times, but I want anybody to come up with one. Now, I have a few. We'll say them here. So this was on Reddit, and a couple of people replied. So level one said...
Phil Oman, level one, Phil Oman says, Opadan offers a bourbon aged in ex-Lafroig barrels.
Yeah, so there's a bourbon finished in smoky casks. Iron Root does that with Icarus. Right?
Woodford has an expression that uses cherrywood smoked barley in the mash bill. 666 moist.
Yeah.
Says Rocktown out of Arkansas has a peated malt bourbon that's
We've reviewed that.
really quite fantastic.
And then I put in there Kings County has a peated bourbon, and Jay Riddle has a peated bourbon. Now, can anybody think of anybody else doing a peated? And what that means is part of the grain in the mash is peat smoke.
Right.
It's peat smoked grain.
Right. I don't know. I'd be curious to try it. Any type of weird, funky things like that, absolutely.
We can attempt it.
Yeah, let's do the things here. It's just,
We'll save the others for the other days.
okay, we got other days apparently.
Yeah, 2 more days.
Okay.
So, final judgment on the Macallan?
It lives
It's
up
fine.
to what you expect from Macallan. It's better than average, quite nice, but it isn't going to blow your off.
I'm going to pour you what I think I would be recommending to somebody who says, I really want to try sherried scotch. What do you recommend?
You pulling the Glendronach there?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I just want you to get a direct A/B comparison.
It's thicker, it's heftier, it's dense.
Yeah.
It's dense.
Or I could do Avalor 12. That's a little bit easier to get.
You know what though? On the nose, much more comparable than I remember.
Mm-hmm.
The Glendronach.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the 18.
Yeah,
It's
well.
richer. But the flavors.
Oh, you do have in the Glendronach a bit more of like a rich vanilla that shows up.
And much candier. More candy. Less tannic, more candy.
Yeah, both are quite nice though. Both are lovely. Here's defining. You're gonna say things.
I was just going to say, I think I'm really starting to love sherry cask whiskey.
Just now?
Well, I mean, I've always kind of liked it.
Right.
But now I sort of miss it when I drink only bourbon cask finish.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We had some weird things in. Okay, there'll be plenty of Irish
You'll see.
content later. Here's the fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, you fight for a friend.
May you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink,
May you drink with us. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.